And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 3, episode number 16, and finally, waiting in the green room tonight for sure. Unlike last week, we have our special guest, Mr. Dan DiBiase. They finally got the internet down there in South Carolina. He assures us that it won't go out tonight, so we have him as our special guest. Before I get started with him, I'm going to introduce my special panel tonight, and we got a full house tonight, starting in Canada with this gentleman, Mr. Murray Corrigan.
Good evening. How's
Evening,
everyone
sir.
doing?
Good, brother.
I made it.
Yes, sir. And our replacement for the Pope apparently is next in line, the Padre.
My hat is in the ring.
Sorry to mention
They
the
haven't
Pope
called me
passed
up
away,
yet,
but
though.
Padre might be in the
Yes,
in the running.
I hear I'm in the running, and I'm waiting for the call, and I'll be gone.
All
Just
right,
like
man.
that.
So glad you could
Okay.
join us tonight.
Yes, sir.
Heading up to New Hampshire, we got Mr. Rick Bradshaw joining us tonight. How you doing, Rick?
Righty ho, everybody. How's it going?
Sexy.
Just so everyone knows, I got rid of Mr.
I
Clean.
see that. I was just going to say
He's
something.
missing. Pulsar's in his place.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Clean is gone.
Thank you,
A
Murray. I
Pulsar,
forgot
so.
his name. I was gonna.
Yeah,
I wasn't
no
gonna say
problem,
it.
Rick.
Pulsar. Yeah.
Show us your
And from
muscle,
way
please.
upstate New York, not from the city, but upstate New York, we have Mr. Angelo DiAnnabelle. How you doing, brother?
Angelo.
And
Did you shave that hair just for tonight? It looks pretty fresh.
Actually, it's got like 2 days growth, so I'm
Be
gonna have
careful.
to.
That's a vein that's popping out there.
Yeah, that too.
He's getting mad already.
What happens?
oh,
So we have something special to talk about tonight. We talked behind in the green room before tonight. For those of you watching and in the chat room, we lost somebody that was close to our group. Somebody that was always in the chat room and had his own channel. Mr. Brian Gidney passed away last week. We don't have any specifics on it, but that really doesn't matter. We all liked him. Angelo, I know he put a page in the calendar. I don't know if those of you that got the calendar probably have this.
Yep.
Remember, he made all the 3D renderings and things like that. So
Yep.
we're not going to go around the room and say what's new in the zoo. We're just going to talk a little bit about.
That's Brian.
Yeah,
Anybody remember?
yeah. Let me bring him up. If those of you aren't familiar, he was on our show as a special guest, and he was on our show as a panel member once or twice. Great guy, funny guy, and man, we're gonna miss him.
no kidding.
And
Rest in
You
peace,
know,
Brian.
Yep.
we're all thinking about you, man. Definitely. So if you didn't hear the news, he passed away last week.
Yep.
Angelo and I guess Rick and Stacy did a little background. I don't know. You guys want to talk a little bit about that, or just how you?
Yeah, we could do
Let
that.
Angelo, go ahead. Angelo,
You
go
sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So Stacy and I know that many of you have had contact with Brian in the past. Brian, one of the things that I remember, Brian, when I was making a lot of the flocked 1/12 scale reproduction heads that I was purchasing through Etsy, Brian was on me because he wanted to make his own rendering of those 1/12 scale heads. And he would contact me all the time and say, I want to be your sell, I want to sell these to you, and I want you to be. So he was really, really intense, and he really wanted me to buy the heads from him and not from Etsy. So we were constantly in contact and back and forth with that. And he even wanted to do a 3D rendering of my head. He never finished. And I feel really, I'm like, damn, he never got to that. So, and I know Stacy's been doing a lot of work with Brian, trying to get some things done, some 3D.
We were working on your head together.
What's that, buddy?
We were working on your head together.
Were
It's
ya?
3/4 done, but he has
So-
the file now. Or
Yeah. So, usually we would see Brian show up on the chat whenever Paul had his show. We would see him posting on Facebook about some of the new renderings that he had done of different famous people or of some of the Joe brothers. And he was always on there. He was always posting. And then he started his own little business. He started an online store.
Yep.
And it was really, things were looking up and things were looking good for Brian, and he seemed a lot happier. Brian had a wife that passed away about 5 years ago. He was in a little bit of a depression and a slump prior to getting into the hobby as intense as he was. He joined in a hook, line, and sinker, jumped in with both feet, and he fell in love with that. And he fell in love with all of us. And he talked about that. And he would talk about how he loved us. He would talk about how we were inspirational. He would talk about we were his lifeline, and we were his ability to continue each and every day through the hobby, because of all the sadness that was around him with the loss of his wife, with not being in the best of health. So this was something that he was really passionate about, and he really loved everything about it and all the people. I wish we would have been able to meet in person. I know he had a mobility issue too. So about a week ago,
Oh my God.
less than a week, Stacy, when did you call me?
Well, today's Monday, so I think it was Thursday.
Thursday, Stacy. I asked, "Hey, have you heard from Brian?" I said, "No, you know what? It's been really weird. I haven't seen anything, haven't heard anything." Stacy said, "I got this feeling. I got this really bad feeling. Something's not right." And I says, "Okay." I says, "All right, what are we going to do?" And so you don't want to pry into someone's private life, and you never know what's going on with people. So it's a really, really fine line. It's really hard to do and make a decision as to what's going to happen. So Stacy said, "Listen, I'm going to contact the hospitals. I'm going to contact the hospitals in his area. Do you have where he lives?" So I says, "Yeah, Stacy, here it is." So Stacy started calling around to the local hospital. He said, "No, we haven't had anyone with that name." And so Stacy got back to me. I'm like, "Okay, that's great. At least he wasn't in the hospital. No one has seen him in the hospital." So the next thing was, do we do a wellness check through the police department? So at the same time, I was like, okay, am I going to call? Am I not? And then I talked to my wife, and she said, "You know what? Do it. Just call and tell them it's a wellness checkup. It's not going to be that big a deal. If they can't do it, they won't. But if they will, they'll make sure they contact you." So while I was doing that, Stacy probably had the same idea and said he's going to contact. So I contacted the local police department. It was not the local police department of his vicinity. They immediately transferred me to another department. And apparently, I don't know if he lives in a trailer park, but they talked about the lot number. And I said, "I don't know the lot number." So they said, "We will contact you right away once we find something out." So I'm figuring it's going to be an hour. It's going to be, some time will go by. 5 minutes. I had a return phone call in 5 minutes from another police officer who said, "I'm very sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we found Brian deceased about 3 days ago." And that was 3 days ago from that Thursday. So what Stacy's feeling, and that gut feeling, and and that's one of the things I always say: you go with your gut feeling about when things happen or could possibly happen, and it did. So it's a very, very sad time. Anytime someone passes, it's very sad. Anytime someone's sick, it's very sad. This one seemed to bother me a little more. And I don't know. I think it's because he was so invested and so. All right, Stace, talk for a minute.
Yeah. So he was a great guy, and he really cared about this hobby and his fellow Joe guys. So what makes it hard for me is that he was alone. So he had nobody, as far as I know, because I talked to him a great deal. He had no other friends, local friends, or anything like that, and he had no family, as far as I know. He had a couple cats, and he lived by himself. And we had talked, and about a week earlier, he had fallen and couldn't get up where he was, but he was lucky to be able to reach the cell phone, and that's all the type of communication he had out. He had to call the hospital or the 911, and they brought an ambulance in, and they got him picked up. And he had a bruise on his head where he hit the end table. He said he was okay. I asked him, I said, are you going to go? And he said, no. And they said the ambulance checked him out. And he said he was fine. And
Yeah.
I called him 2 days later to check on him again. And the bruise was going away. It was better than it was that day. And he said he was fine. He said he didn't have any side effects, headaches, or anything like that. So I just left it as that. But he was a great guy. And it's a shame that, there was nobody left for him,
Yeah. Well,
and to, pass away, by yourself. You never know,
that
So
that brings us to a point, like with everybody here and those in the chat room. If you're, in need of help or you want to talk to people, I mean, even though we don't live close to each other, you can reach out to anybody here.
Reach out to somebody here. Yeah.
He
was what, 52? 52, right?
53 years old.
53.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard because, a lot of us, I have a family, and both my boys are still home trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And, I have a wife. I said, but not everyone does. And not everyone has people. And we are their people. And it needs to be shared and said, that you have to hold on to that camaraderie. You have to hold on to that unity, that you have to hold on to each other, to hold each other up, and be okay with sharing that, and being okay to say, I need something, man. I'm hurting here. And that's, and being, especially, and I don't want to say it's just, guys, but it seems to be more, we're stubborn. And we don't want,
you won't ask for help.
Show that. You don't want to show weakness. And it's not.
And society brings us up that way too.
Yeah. And it's not a weakness. It's just a,
conditioning.
It's a missing piece. The hobby is that connecting piece. And all of us together, I tell the kids all the time at school, we are all different pieces of a puzzle, and together we make a complete picture.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And that's what the hobby is. And more of us, people need to stick together. And like I said, boost each other up instead of putting each other down. And you see a lot of the Facebook groups, people are nasty. They're just, you know what? Who cares what people are, what scale or what? Just be decent, man.
Just be nice. Just be nice to each other, man.
Be nice to each other. Yeah.
Well, we'll be thinking about Brian tonight, definitely. And, again, if you're in that situation, reach out to anybody in this group here. We'll all talk, or at least text back and forth, whatever. I think Michelle just put a little quote up here, but he wouldn't want us to be sad,
No,
so,
you're right.
He
wouldn't.
Let's,
you're absolutely right. And you know what? And this, we're going to bounce back with tonight's show with Dan on, what he's done is phenomenal. So we have to, I don't want to say put this aside, but we have to acknowledge Dan and everything that he's doing tonight. And that this is his show, his showcase for this evening.
Yeah.
And Brian would want that too. He would want us to have fun and enjoy everything that Dan is going to bring to tonight's show.
That last picture you showed of him, that was what he had to.
He just got a 3D printed spacecraft. Someone 3D printed for. I wonder who it is. It's got to be someone that we know. He printed. And he goes, "Well, I'm the first one. I was the first one to get it." And he was just so happy about it. And he was showing that, and he had that shit ass grin on his face. And that was the grin.
That's how we got to remember him, man. That's how we got to remember him.
That's what you'll always remember him, sweating and his head all shiny with that big shit ass grin on his face, holding some type of 3D printed contraption in his hand. Yeah. And that's how you got to remember him.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else with a big old shit-eating grin, and he finally got the internet tonight. Let's bring him in, Mr. Dan DiBiase.
Look at that. Welcome, Dan.
Yeah.
I have internet. I have it.
Hey, I think that sounded like the Eddie Murphy with the ice cream man.
Ice cream!
You know that one? That was
a
good one.
Yeah. I'm an old man. I know all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, Dan, when you dialed in on AOL tonight, we hope your internet doesn't go out. We hope your internet doesn't go out again tonight. How you doing, brother?
Oh, good. It was. I'll tell you. Last week was I was so upset. About 6:00, I sent you a message going, my internet went down. And I got a message from Spectrum that it'll be up by 8:30. So I was like, oh, okay, I can. That's about the time. I'll probably be on, so we'll be good. And I tried logging in on my phone. That wouldn't work because I found out that I basically have no cell phone coverage here where I live. And yeah, I was so stressed out. The whole thing, my head was like just twitching. I was like,
comedy of errors.
oh, it was horrible. I had to get cell phone coverage to send messages to you guys. I had to jump in my car, drive about a mile down the road, and I pulled off the side of the road, and I'm sitting there in my car texting you guys so I can at least be part of something. But
I heard there's places down there where you live that they're still fighting a civil war. Is that true? Or is it... Anybody get the word out to them that it's over?
There's a place in I-85. I just drove by for Easter. I went to a big gathering yesterday for Easter, and you drive by 85, and there's a really massive Confederate flag flying on the side of the road. So
yeah. So we have them here too. So,
Nice. Yeah.
So hey, what's new since we talked to you last? How's the outdoor ski? I don't want to say ski slope going. It's a
snowboard rally
going. Yeah.
Can I stop for 1 second? I do want to.
Hey, it's all about you, Dan. It's all about you. Don't worry about us.
Hello. Well, I just found out that a couple days ago that it's Paul Revere's 250th anniversary of his famous ride.
Yes, sir.
And I'm from Portland, Maine originally. So you got the famous poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I've been to his home, and he's got a big statue there in Longfellow Square in Portland. So we're all familiar with that famous poem, and we're all familiar with Johnny Tremaine and that whole thing. Yeah. But I wanted to read a brief little thing about something that they wrote. And I think this is about difficulties of getting shoes. And it says, kicks just keep getting harder to find. And all your kicks ain't bringing you peace of mind.
Oh, really?
Before you find out it's too late, girl. I'm assuming that's either maybe Molly Pitcher. You better get straight. No, but not with kicks. You just need help, girl. I mean, those are words of wisdom from Paul Revere. I thought that was fantastic. He's got a couple other ones. I think it's about, them starving because it's called Hungry. And then there's another one. I think it must be a thing, about.
Would that be Paul Revere and the Raiders?
Is there a difference? There
would be a slight difference.
This isn't
a few years.
Yeah.
Well,
a couple hundred years difference.
Well, the one about King George and Stepping Stone, that was, I really got into that.
Sure.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
well. Thanks for ruining it for me.
Hey, we need a good laugh, man. Thank you.
That must have been Wiki. That must have been Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They did have a very cool. I don't know if I checked it out. There's a very cool light show that Boston put on with drones and like that, reenacting the ride. It was really cool. Check it out if you can find it on the internet. Anyways, so how's everybody doing?
We're doing
live.
I'm still here.
That's right.
Yeah, we haven't had Murray on the show since you were on.
Last time Dan was on.
Yeah.
Murray's a fan.
Yeah, he's just, or a stalker.
For a long time.
Hey,
I should dig out. Murray's got some pictures of mine somewhere that stuff I shot with his stuff on.
Actually, I think, yeah.
What about the pictures you sent me? You want to go through those first?
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about Snowboard Rally if you want. I don't know how long we're going to run tonight because I'm a yapper. So, I mean,
we're going to
8. We can possibly run a little video. I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I can stop this at any time and you can talk about it. So let's go through this first.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we can talk about Snowboard Rally.
All right. Everybody knows about me about, taking photographs. And I've been doing this for 26 years now. So taking shots. I'm not sure if people will do this. This is a part of a collection I did called Savage Joe. The concept on this was you've left your G.I. Joe in the backyard and he's got to make it home. So let's put him through things. The one thing about this figure is I've only got one original piece from my childhood, and it's that boot. So there you go.
Awesome.
But this is the original picture where he's lost and alone. Dun dun dun. Are these other figures left in the yard to rot, decay? Will he make it home? He's fashioned a spear.
So Dan, you take all these pictures inside with a setup?
All these are taken on a behind me. If you can see, there's my studio is right here. I'm sitting in the actual studio. So I'm sorry, I don't have a huge room where I have all my figures up. Everything's in tubs and sorted, and I'm very organized. I can find stuff, but I don't put a lot of stuff up display because I do so much photography. So.
Yeah, with the photography, can you walk us through what is when you're setting it up? Do you have a lot of light sources that you put? Do you have and what type of camera are you using for us?
Well, right now I'm using what is actually, let me grab it. Hold on. I'm wearing pants today, so.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
God.
My son, when he was young, used to run around the house. No pants, no pants. Apparently, pants were not. They didn't like the way they felt. Anyway,
here's a funny story. A few years ago, when I was living in Maine, I was doing laundry, and I had the pants I was wearing. I was were really dirty. And I was doing laundry. I said, the hell with it. I'll just throw them in there, and I'll just go upstairs and grab another pair of pants. As I'm walking through my kitchen, I'm just wearing my
tidy whities.
No, I don't wear tidy whities, but I'm wearing my boxer briefs, and I'm walking through, and there is a woman standing at my back door, which was wide open. Now I lived in the sticks up there, and I'm standing there, and I just kind of I have to acknowledge her and just kind of go, let me go get some pants on real quick and walk through. But what are the odds? She was a candidate for a local for the local election, and she was banging on doors. And
I think there's an episode somewhere on that. Candidate comes to the door while you're in your box.
What are you gonna do? You just kind of walk along.
Angelo, what are you watching these days, my friend?
I wear leopard Speedo, so I don't really care.
Don't stand up, Stacy. Do not stand up.
Don't worry. I don't think
he can
have them on
stand.
right now. It's just commando.
But right now I'm using a Sony. Is it A6? I'm sorry, people. I'm gonna have to show my age here.
No, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You're in good company, buddy.
Sony A6000.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Colonel Sanders.
But that was Paramount Chicken. But the camera that I was using to take these pictures was my Sony F828 at the time. I've used a bunch of different cameras over time. Some of my real old stuff. Hell, my original was I've stuck with Sony's all these years because they translate. I don't have to relearn a camera. They're basically going back for 20 years. They basically all operate the same. So my first one was the big old one. You put the floppy disk in, and you took pictures that way. You filled it up with 4 pictures. And that was it. So.
Oh, Michelle.
But these are all my sets. I keep everything about a 2 foot by 2 foot board. That's what I do. And the idea is to keep tight on the subject, what I'm doing here. This was actually the one you're looking at right now, Toxic Plunge. That is that's actually a little aluminum foil built up around it, so I can put water in it, throw a bunch of antacid tablets in there, and then hang a vine up above it, where the light is. But I got the standard light, you got the overhead light. You've got the two. You get a fill light and the 2 focus lights.
Yeah, because I always love one of the things I loved about your photography is the clarity. The quality and the clarity of everything in the shot is amazing, very impressive.
Thank you. It's part of it. I think it's I don't remember if we talked about this before. My father was a professional photographer for many years and probably one of the best in New England. He took portraits. His company was Deering Studio, which is what I'm using. So if you ever see a photograph with Deering Studio on it, it was my father probably took it, and he had a fantastic eye, and I think some of it might have passed along to me because we would talk about it, and he would just go I wish I had digital photography when I was doing it back in the day, and I had to lug those equipment around. I have some of his stuff here. I have some of his boxes that he kept his equipment in. But we talk about photography, and he would always just ask me, like, how did you come up with the idea of looking at this? And I go, just felt right. And he always said to me, that's exactly what I would do. So I don't know if that's genetics that was just passed on or what, but I fell into this completely by accident. There was no intention to do this, but I mean, I just love the hobby, in photographing this stuff.
So Dan, do you have these in like a collection, like a book collection or anything like that? Tabletop
I did.
book?
They were on my website. When I had my website up, you could click on it and you could see, like, I had it all broken down, and very shortly here, I will have a website back up so you can see everything. I mean, the only thing I have right now is the YouTube channel for Daring Studio, which has the only thing on it right now is the promo for Snowboard Rally, because that's been the last 6 years. Snowboard Rally is, completely dominated my life.
Yes,
but you don't have them. You don't have it like for sale as like a hardcover hard copy book.
No, I don't. Sorry, you can find these pictures on my Instagram account, Daring Studio on Instagram. These pictures are all there. Not all of them, but a majority of them are.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this next picture or no?
This one here. It's once again, we get the big old spiders, and he's trying to, make his way home. He's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's seeing all these things here. I mean, things are, kind of there. But he's got there. He's got the tape holding the crack on the arm, and he's kind of rough. Oh no!
But he's been through it.
He's been through it. Look at it. There we go. You gotta have fun. I mean, it's great when you can pick up a subject and you can just kind of hit things. And Savage Joe was just fun to do. I mean, what's in it?
All right, now Dan, you're gonna have to talk about posing Savage Joe, because I know he doesn't stand up that easily.
I have a pretty good talent. I am like when those guys who stack the rocks. I can do that with an action figure. I can. I figured that out. But I do use clear plastic rods also that I put in hide. I got different lengths, so I can prop them up in the back where the figure kind of hides the plastic rod. Every so often, I have to go in with Photoshop and take away a shadow. But the clear plastic rods very rarely ever throw a shadow. So everybody knows this alligator. Look at this thing.
And you're using all plastic plants behind there? Or?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, these are all. I go down to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or the different places you can buy them. Even Walmart, and you can buy them. And what I do is you can buy a big plant and just tear it down into segments. I don't know if. I hope I don't screw my camera up too much, but over here, there's a big tub of plants sitting on.
Paul doesn't have you on. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And trees.
Right there, there's a big tub of plants right there, like right there, and a whole bunch of trees.
A whole bunch of blue ones, blue spruce. I see
that my cat decided to wipe out earlier today. My cat loves to sleep on this thing, on my photo thing. So I got a sheet over it when I'm not using it, so he can climb on and get his hair all over it. And I've been making all these trees for Snowboard Rally, and I've been stacking them on the thing. And there was no room for them, and I just kind of heard a clunk, earlier this morning. And I come in, and the cat was like, I posted online today. I posted the picture of the cat wedged in there, and when he got up, he decided to wipe them all out. They were all knocked over and done,
Now,
that's a cat for you.
How often do you change up the setup? Like right now with all the setups were more or less the same background. How long do you let it set up until you finish?
Everything is modular. I can take it up, take it down. It's for example, I don't know if we have pictures of Snowboard Rally. Like for example, people talk to me about that. The tent setup I have is 10 foot by 60 feet. And people ask me how long does it take to put it up. It takes about an hour to put the whole thing up. So it's not that hard. I mean, for me, it's not that big of a deal. I make everything, when I plan it out, I make everything very modular, and I consider that a mold, and I don't like heavy things. And I try to make everything very light. I am in the construction business, so I do know how to I actually build miniature when I build a wall, it's actually framed out like a real wall. Basically, scaled out. I mean, so because if you're using a foam core, you glue it, it warps. So you need to build something, glue it on there, and I have to run in the other room and grab. I got some.
We got more
walls.
pictures to go through, bro.
Oh, good. Let's do it.
We only have an hour.
See.
What
do we got?
Let you know.
Oh, come on, Paul. The other show goes late.
Okay, go ahead. Well, we saw that one. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to where you left off, right here.
Yep.
Keep going. Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
All right, there we go. Oh, he's got to eat.
Yep.
He's got to eat.
Just great pictures.
Yep.
Oh, and now he's eating.
He caught a deer, but he's cooking a turkey.
Eating a turkey.
He's not a good shot. He's got a knife and a spear. Come on. Could you do that?
Yeah.
Well, the deer ate the turkey. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Get the joke.
All right.
And then there's a flying shark.
Sharknado?
Yeah.
Sharknado.
That's what I was watching that day. You could see the resolve on him going dude, I had to have him look at me like, dude, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that's actually Photoshop, and that's actually all the same shark.
Okay, I'm going to ask you that.
Well, actually, I think one shark is in the upper corner
The
there.
G.I.
One
Joe
shark
one.
is different, but the other three are the same shark that I'm holding. I just kept snapping the picture and just holding the shark in different positions.
That's cool.
Oh, and this is on the boot. I forgot about that. If you look behind him on the ground, his other boot is sitting there.
No, that's a great
I do
pose.
see it. That's funny.
The way his head is, definitely a good pose. Oh yeah.
Oh, the atomic ant. See the danger. See now, Stacy, when he was on Jeff's show, he said he buried some of his GI Joes.
Yeah.
Now I want Stacy to understand this is what his Joes are going through.
Yeah.
You bury them there, and they're trying to get home, and the hell they're going through. Look at this, giant ants. And I know what that's like down here in South Carolina with the fire ants. Oh, hey, I know that guy.
Look at that guy.
April 14th. I wasn't on April 14th.
You were supposed to be. I just had to throw that in to remind you that last week was your show.
I know.
All right. I want to hear about this 10-foot by 60 tent and what's going on in there.
Ta-da! Snowboard rally. We've been adding on to it. It's evolving. What's going on? I really, really wanted to do a remote where it's in my backyard, and you guys could, I could have it set up and run stuff. But damn, man, for 2 weeks now, we've had nothing but 10 to 15 mile an hour wind gusts, and those party tents still do not handle that wind at all. This is one of the frames from the roof that one of those little wind gusts decided to hit it. Sorry, but yeah, that's so I had to pull the tent down, to so I don't have to smash tent because they're not cheap.
So what do you do with the rally part? I mean, where does that go?
Everything is the boards are 2 foot by 8 foot long, and they all come apart. They're I made them kind of they just kind of lay together. I'm not going to say Legos, but they kind of butt together. And I got rubber straps to hold it that put them together. I got to stop hitting the cord. Sorry. And then Italian. So,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No idea.
Where do you put it though? I mean,
I got a shed. I got a shed back here that it stacks all in,
right.
and it goes in there. It takes a lot to fold these things up because the roof is 10 foot by 60, so the track is actually longer than my house. It's huge. I luckily the place I got's got a nice big backyard. I could put this in, and it's going to be all enclosed. I can put lights in there, and I can control the environment. When I lived in Maine, I could get away with in the summertime because I had so many pine trees behind me, and just the wooded area behind me. I could kind of get away with using the background and not be too bad. But here in South Carolina, it's not, it doesn't, everything's so green and it's hey, this is winter, but, looks like I'm in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
In February, so,
Right.
so. But it's a hell of a project. But I think at this point now, I think I got everything all lined down. But that's why I said last time it'll be about May before I actually start, releasing stuff and shooting stuff. I'm not going to be recording stuff like put the tent up, record a tournament, take it down, take it back. No, it's going to be like I put it up and I'm going to run a bunch of tournaments, because I can modularly change the section of the track. I've got 10 different track setups. And so not all the tracks are the same. So what I'll do is I could take it down and rearrange the pieces on it and then, record everything. And then I could take everything down and put it aside.
Now, Dan, I'm not familiar with this at all. Can you tell us, anyone who is not familiar as what you're doing? It sounds absolutely fascinating, but I don't know, where did this start? Like, what is it? What are you doing with these snowboarders?
Well, the promo is if you go to Deering Studio on YouTube.
You can share that right now. Are you on your computer? You could share it.
I can, but it's got that other music on it.
I don't care.
Well, I don't want you to get hit again.
I could silence.
Oh my! Do you not tell everybody what you said to me when you got hit with that music? The language I had to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
I think I can silence it from here. If you share it at the bottom. You see what says share?
How do you want me to do this? Share here. Just open
that little bubble at the bottom says share screen. It's
okay. I'll see here.
So if you put your computer on and then hit share screen, it should pop up.
Where's share screen?
It's a little.
Right
it looks like a screen with an up
TV
arrow.
screen with the arrow pointing up.
It's right next to. It's got microphone,
microphone,
camera, and then up screen.
Let me go. Jeez, hope I get all my private stuff turned off. Oh no.
Yeah, be careful what you share. Hey, Stacy or Angelo, did you see Adam LeMay's comment there? I think
the flock on the deer.
I don't know if that was meant for you or Angelo, but
don't does it make a difference?
Yeah,
Stacy's probably already flocked the deer.
No, I have not yet.
You haven't flocked a bear yet, have you?
No.
The bear?
That same deer that Dan showed, I removed the antler. It's like a rubber deer, I bet. It's like rubber. I removed the antler so I could put it on one of my G.I. Joes when I did a bizarre comic where Joe was, dressed up like the Easter Bunny, but he had these horns.
Actually, wait a minute. Why am I doing that? Can I not just show from my files? I don't have to open up YouTube. I can just
you should just be able to hit whatever you want on your computer and hit share.
Yeah. I've got the video. I made it.
Yeah, whatever's on your computer screen, you can share it to us.
Oh, now Angelo's starting a charity.
Yeah, Edmund. I'm glad that you got them. I don't know. Did you ever have those other cards? That was actually a card game. I had some extra cards. Those are nice ones. The G.I. Joe TCG trading card game. And you unfold that poster, and it's actually a game mat. I have two of them at school that are in big giant poster frames, and the kids play the card game at school with G.I. Joe during lunchtime and whatnot. So, if anyone's familiar with the Real American Hero trading card game, there's some awesome graphic. The art design is awesome.
Well, while we're waiting for Dan's AOL to kick in, we can
just go on
Dan
dialogue.
does this on purpose. He does.
I want to say hi to people in the chat.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
He wants to come back next week so he can show it again.
All right. I've got it up. I'm just trying to find it on the
car.
You have to get through all that porno you saved, and then after that,
all the boxer briefs and the politicians coming to the door. Yeah.
We got Ernie's Attic watching, Paul B's watching.
Is this it right
here?
Jack's on, Kim Cope, Ronald.
All right, tell me when you want to.
There you are.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
Adam LeMay.
All right.
All right. Tell me when to go, and because I can't see you guys.
Go. We can see Deering Stereo presents.
You see the whole. So you see it. Okay.
Yep.
Ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, just turn the sound down on your thing, and it should work.
How's that?
Awesome.
Very cool.
You got the trees in the background and everything, man.
I got more trees now.
There's a lot more now.
Making trees.
So it's going to be a stop motion, Dan? Stop motion?
No, it's not stop motion. That's real.
It looked like it because it was going slow, but it's
what? No, they're just blasting down? Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Let's see. Wow.
How'd you do that?
There we
That's
go.
pretty cool.
There we go.
That was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's I mean, if you want me to, I can actually show you a whole race. I mean, well, the whole like one.
Yeah, do it,
one
man.
whole
It's your
thing,
show.
Um,
And
But,
how don't
it's,
they fall over? How'd you get them so they don't fall over?
that's
the
right.
secret.
Angelo, what's where am I? Am I gone? Right, there I am.
You're up top.
Okay. So Angela asked a question. I've always wanted to do something when it comes to these with GI Joe. You know, I got to take a little credit for myself. When not many people were doing the photography stuff that I was doing back in the day.
No, they weren't.
A lot of people were taking the Joes, which would, you know, there are legends out there that do this. You know, I mean, that did some fantastic. You know, what was it? The Fate of the Perilous. Murray, do you remember the one that I came up with? The guy who did it. He had caption action in his house, doing a whole thing. Was the Fate of the Perilous Retrieval Hazard or something like that? That was like one of the original ones that came out. But
well, Sean Huxter was doing it. Burke was doing it. He did.
Dan. Yeah. I got some of the Dan stuff. He sent it to me because he got out of it. He sent me his
and then
files.
Todd Pleasant and Dave were doing Aesop at the time.
Yep.
You were doing Carl Butcher and Adventure Gear and and
everywhere. I was just sapping pictures like crazy
stuff.
Back in the day.
We were young, had lots of time and energy.
Well, 25 years ago, a long time. Yeah, boy. But anyway, so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to, you know, there's a lot of people started taking photographs, you know, 112 square. Some people are taking fantastic shots. You know, I think Rick does fantastic. I mean, you know, I know he's going to be, you know, he's going to be not do it, but Rick takes some fantastic pictures. And but I wanted to do something different. And as I went on, and I started seeing things like people racing marbles on YouTube and racing Hot Wheels and doing the buildings tracks and making races. And I'm going
during COVID.
They were really cool. And I did, you know, put a car in one of the race things there. But I wanted to do something. I was thinking, what could I do? And it first came out with like I was going to do bobsledding. That was the first thing. I was going to come out with the bobsledding thing, and I'm like, nobody's going to want to watch one guy do time trial. We need to have something competitive. And I'm a huge Winter Olympics fan. I love the Winter Olympics, and they have snowboard cross, where, you know, 6 people get together and they race, and you know, it's pretty cool. So I'm going, you know, I think I could do this with these guys, and I started, you know, doing testing. Go, okay, can I get these guys to stand up on these things? I mean, they make, you know, like Action Man makes some sleds they can go on, but they're huge, you know, big wheels and everything like that. I'm going, how can I make this, you know, work? And so I went through a lot of testing. I went through a lot of just trying to figure out what I was going to do, what the uniforms are going to look like, who is going to compete, trying to get the guys all to work, you know, compete together. So I created a group on Facebook, which is a very private group, but everybody but Angelo is not on the group, which I'll have to add you on if you're on Facebook. But you can see, you know, everything I'm doing. I did what they call test tournaments. I started running tournaments just to work the bugs out. And, you know, so we're at a point now where I had to build the tent and everything, kind of come up with a way of getting to it. I'm at that point now. You know, that's where I had to I had to learn how to make trees. Like, nobody else gets these things, you know, these cool, you know, fir trees. Buddy got, I get like 15 of these suckers. I made one for Buddy Finn. I think, you know, he's got one of those. I made one him for like a 50s metal one, you know, the aluminum looking ones, stuff like that. I've got you guys. I'm making one for you guys too, so they're on their way. So, but bear with me as I go through all. You know, it takes, you know. But it doesn't take that long to make them. I'll make you a video on post on YouTube how to make one of these trees. It's fairly easy. But yeah. Anyway, so I've been running all these tournaments to do this and figuring out how it's going to work. And if you like, it's about a 5-minute video, but you can actually watch a. There's no commentating on the videos, because I'm not gonna. That's me. So I already know me. I already know my voice. I know what I'm going to do. So there's no sense of me wasting time doing commentating on these videos. I got to get the camera angles down, and because trying to figure out the camera angles, because I can't run beside the thing and record it. I mean, it's just not. Give you an idea how fast
to do you good.
Well, to give everybody an idea how fast these guys go, they go the full. It's 56 feet, so they go the full 56 feet in about 10 seconds. So these guys are moving, and what and I have to actually slow the videos down when I post them to you guys. I slow them down a lot. You get like 75% speed or whatever because they're moving so fast. If you watch the full speed, it's like they go by there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I put a Hot Wheel on the track in one of these guys against a Hot Wheel on this track, and these guys just smoked the Hot Wheel. I mean, it was like the Hot Wheel was like this Hot Wheel was like basically getting halfway down the track, and these guys were done. And
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. You should have used that VW van that Volkswagen came out, or that Hot Wheels came out with back in around 2000. There, that blue one. That was the heaviest Hot Wheel they ever made.
Oh, really?
That one would stand a chance.
Well, there is the connecting between the two sections. It's not a smooth track, and all the track sections I made, they all have bumps and humps in them. They're not just a straight shot going down. There's these guys get torqued around a lot, and these are real action figures. They're all
they're all.
I was going to say, show a couple of those off. You made some new ones since we had you on the show.
As we're working on first off, I came off. These are all true type figure bodies. A lot of them are dragon heads, and that I merged on there. Let's see here. There we go. I know Paul likes this guy.
I like Miss Snowboard Rally personally.
You like that?
Look, Ken head. It's got a Ken head.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
That's Paul's
There you go.
favorite.
It's Miss Snowboard Rally.
That's what the winner gets. The winner gets Miss Snow Rally.
Surprise!
Somebody told me that's Trump's daughter. And
Might be.
I mean, so I'm.
Yeah, not far off.
And of course, we have to get into politics. We're not doing that. I don't know. I didn't know. I just grabbed. I looked at her. She had a big smile on her face. She's pretty. So, so this is
There you go. That's mine.
Yeah.
Number 100. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is he goes by the name of Ken Barbie. So, the boots are modified Bratz boots that I resin cast for everybody. These are the German winter smock uniforms. I took the pants, just dyed them the color that I want. Same thing. I custom made this. The shirts all came from Cotswold, and then I made the neck gaiter thing there. So, and because his head doesn't fit in the helmet, these are what the helmets look like. So that's actually the top of his head cut off and glued in there, but that's actually the actual competitive helmet.
Dan, I'm absolutely fascinated by all of this. I'm sorry that I don't know. I didn't know anything about this. It is awesome. And I'm looking forward to looking up some more information and seeing what you've done with it. This is so cool. Oh, there's
we all know this guy.
Now, when you were saying about you can't run alongside it, you ever see one of those garden railroads, like the O scale, the big stuff?
Yeah.
You could probably get a track, put it right alongside it, put your camera on a tripod.
This is one of the, as I develop it, I'm trying to figure out. I've seen guys, they make rails for cameras to go down. Right now, I've got 7 cameras that I've got hooked up on it, and I just edit that. And I've learned from other people how the use of AI now in some other programs where it just automatically merges it all together for you. It takes a sound, takes the picture, and so I'm learning some of this technology as we do this. It'll be a little rough to start out with. It's not going to be perfect, but it's too cool. I mean, nobody else does it. I mean, and this is why I'm coming out with it and talking about it. I first talked about it with Terry last year, and it's very cool when you watch it. If you see it live, I don't think any picture I show you is going to ever give you the idea of the scale of this. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. You're watching these guys go down. These guys are on these things. They're running down. As I said, It's here.
Oh, right.
Johnny West. So, and then of course, they're all
Articulated.
they're these are action figures. Then they go down. I got to get them all balanced on there, and everybody has their own uniform number, and
That is so cool.
they're all.
Yeah.
I got that. I even got the I had to go buy glitter paint so I can make sure that get glitter on the snowboards. So
he took the whole idea of the marble racing that came out during COVID and the Hot Wheel races that you were on, and he's just made it to our own hobby. And I mean, it's absolutely incredible the amount of work that he's put into this. It's just mind-boggling.
Now, to make some money
blast.
back on all the money that you're spending on this, you have to start having people bet on which snowboard is going to win.
I do. I will promise that I will not doctor any races. What you're going to see is what you're going to get. So I mean, it's and people aren't seeing the whole thing. There are. I lost count. Murray, how many guys are going?
Something like 35 or
4?
Yeah,
34. I think 34 competitors.
Well, and then
now.
there's Miss Snowflake, 35.
She's the Game
She's
of Thrones
competing
queen,
for the
man.
after party. Yeah.
So, but there's I've got a whole, there's a whole crowd. I got like about 20 or 30 people in the stands for crowds.
Lone Wolf wants to know where's Marty McFly. Does he have a
I
board
know
or
Marty McFly.
I know you will not see any real live people involved in this. It's going to be all fake, so I don't want to run into any people calling me, that's my head, you can't use that in there, so I'm not going to. It's all companies, and that's why everybody has got like all their names are different. I'm not using the corporate names. Like G.I. Joe is actually I'm using the name Joe Blizzard on him. So I mean, he's going to come. I made some which I sent one to you, to Paul, to you, for Ken Barbie. He hails out of Malibu, California, and then of course, Joe Blizzard's going to hail out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and that type of stuff.
But every one of them has the same skateboard, right? I mean, they're all so this way it's consistent.
Identical.
Basically, well, that's the weird thing about these things. This is the thing about them. I just went through them all. I had to figure out what was the best. You have to figure out the weight on these things, and I had to figure out the weight that works on these guys. And as we ran the test tournaments, like you've seen all the tournaments, everybody except for Angelo, that I ran. I have to. It's troubleshooting, figuring out. The video I wanted to show, it's like a finals of the very last tournament I did. You see one guy like win all the races. He's a machine.
Yeah.
But I had to figure out all the weights. And when you buy these figures and you start weighing them, they don't all the bodies have a variance of weight. They can vary from 10 to 15 grams on the bodies. So I have to figure out, when I build them, I got to get the boards may weigh a little bit different and put weights in them, or I got to put weights in the body or whatever to get these guys up to what I consider right now the winning weight. Everybody now is essentially the same weight, maybe 1 or 2 grams, but everybody's at this. I haven't run them now at this point on this, but so the distribution of the weight on them, they're all different. They're not all the same. Did you read
that question from Moondoggy?
Did you? Yeah, they are. They're all true type.
So it's
bodies.
like a Pinewood Derby with Boy Scouts.
That's what the wheels are from. Yeah, I got and they talk about the money on this. Let's get a little religious here. We get the Padre here. But God was seriously watching out for me when I started this project. I could never, if I started to do this today, I could never pull this off. I got all the wheels at a hell of a discount from the Boy Scouts. They're all glow in the dark. If I turn the lights off, these wheels, everything on these wheels will be all glowing. It's kind of cool to walk in here after the podcast and I turn the lights off and every wheel I see all these wheels glowing. The bodies, there was a guy in China that was selling these true type bodies for $10 a body. If I bought at least 10, so I bought 20 of the bodies, and so then it cost me a couple $100 for the bodies. Could never do that now because each body is like $20. Nowadays. As far as the winter uniforms, I found a guy that was doing closeouts on one of his stores. And so I bought like 30 something, German smocks. And these are all the dirty German smock uniforms too. If you take Shout, the Shout stick there, and you scrub it in, it'll clear out all that black and brown paint. It'll take it right back down to white. It's a little dingy white, but if you're gonna dye it, you can't tell.
Perfect.
The helmets are all made castings by me. The boots are all castings by me. I just kind of got lucky with a lot of it.
Kidding.
In the cost wise, I mean, like I bought all the uniforms, and I said the uniforms, I was only paying like $5 to $8 a uniform. The guy was just getting rid of them. He's like, I'll sell them to you. And then, I bought a lot of the T-shirts from Cotswold. Although I did already own, I have gobs of uniforms and clothing.
No.
So I had some of that already.
You have a bunch of adventure
yeah, I
gear
mean, like I
stuff,
said,
I'm sure too.
I have that. It's weird. It's so funny because I'm so protective of that stuff because you can't get it anymore.
Project R
and
stuff.
I finally dug into it, and I'm using all those uniforms and clothing for the people in the stands. So you'll see that in the stands, all those things. I mean, might as well use the stuff. It's sitting in tubs doing nothing.
I can't imagine. I've only got 6 or 8 of them sitting here. Tubs, I mean. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I got more clothes than I got figures, and more figures than I have space for. So
I went through when I moved from Maine to South Carolina. I went kind of through a purge. I sold a lot of stuff. I don't have as much as I used to, mainly because I'm throwing everything into this. I really think that this will be hopefully popular.
One would expect,
unless I screw it up, but I mean, it's. I think people watching the racing. So you're going to have the idea behind it is you can have the races. You're going to get your favorite guys. Even though I have a couple guys that do really well, after every tournament, there's always a different group, and that finalize. Some guys do, as I said, not even though all the guys are the same weight, the distribution of the weight on the bodies is different. The head weighs different. When I put these guys together, all the body parts were laid out. I weighed all the body parts. I sorted them by weight. Like all the helmets, even though I made all castings of the helmets, even the helmets were different weights. So I had to put everything together to try to get everything in there. The wheels are different weights. The sleds.
Plus being in different lanes, right? It changes it too, right? I mean.
Yeah. See, like there, I wrote, that's like this sled is 20 grams. So that's how much that weight, that one. And let's see here. This one here.
30. Wow.
30 grams. So there's difference. There's. Oh yeah. So you can't. You don't know, and the bodies do after a while. They do get kind of tired. I did go through them recently. In the great thing with these True Type, they have screws. They pop all apart. They're like model, snap together models. You can pull them all apart, and then you can tighten up all the joints. I have one guy that I call Cookie Corners, which is here. This guy here, which I think a lot of people will probably recognize this head.
Hey, all right.
Oh, there you go. That's your book.
Little action man. Now, Carl's over here. Carl's right here. I gotta stop hitting the wire. Carl's right here.
All right.
There he is. Carl.
Beauty. And he's got a Maggie Mac.
So anyways, so he was his big thing was when he ran the course, he would run really well, but at one of the races he'd always wipe out. It's one of his fluky things, but he's and he's a good finisher. So hopefully everybody has a favorite. They'll get these guys, they'll see them. I'll have I don't know if Paul, if you got that when I sent you the Ken Barbie intro card, it shows like his body sliding down in his head.
I can't
if you have that.
Yeah, I had him. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But anyways, so you'll be able to see all these guys, and you'll be able to figure out who is who, and hopefully the
through
favorites.
COVID, we got watching those stupid marble races. I still love the yellow marbles.
I'm an O-Ranger fan.
Oh, okay.
That's Yelly's marble run. Yeah, and he's selling that now. He's actually, he created a thing. You can buy the whole thing and do racing, and he sells a package now, the marbles of all the teams that he has.
Cool.
You know, and well, that thing was on
that was on YouTube.
Who's the guy? One of the late show guys was broadcasting, was sponsoring it. Okay. The guy on was it CBS? I can't remember. John
Stewart.
Not Stewart, the other guy. I can't remember.
Jimmy Fallon.
No, the guy. He's on CBS. I can't remember.
Jimmy Fallon.
He's got the ears. He's got the ears that stick out.
Oh,
Conan. Conan O'Brien.
No.
Colbert.
Colbert. Yeah,
Steven.
Colbert. Yeah, he sponsored that because he was doing that, and it really came about of all seeing that and coming up with an idea of doing this. And you know, like I said, I started this in 2019, and now there was about a year and a half gap on this because you know I put my house up for sale and you know, and I couldn't have everything, you know, people showing up. I couldn't have the track set up and all the stuff set up, so it had to be all boxed and put away. And then when I moved down to South Carolina, I had to, you know, get set up down here, and you know, so there was a pretty long gap between it. So, but now we're figuring that out, and I've also had to adjust to the weather conditions down here. I mean, you know, the weather in Maine was much different than it's down here, so it's I'm just dealing with different things.
Oh, and in Maine,
but the weather is actually better. I have a longer season to work here.
In Maine, you didn't need the backdrops.
Yeah, right.
No, well, pretty much no, because in my yard, I lived on a place called Sebago Lake up in Maine, and I'd have snow in my yard until like almost Memorial Day. I mean, it was pretty.
Sounds
pretty
about
brutal.
right. Yeah.
But I had a whole bunch of. It was kind of funny. I had a whole bunch of ducks in my yard, and they would just waddle right through the little thing. Yeah,
lots of pictures of those too.
So, oh man, I had like 70 something mallards and all these ducks in my yard all the time. Yeah, so, but any other questions on it, or I mean, is there anything else?
I just think it's all very fascinating, and I'm so glad that I joined on tonight and found out all about this. I'm a little behind in regards to the last time you were on, last year with Terry. So I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This is fascinating. So yeah, I look forward to checking out your channel and looking up more about this, and looking forward to actually seeing the races happen. Well,
we can, if we want. I mean, I know we're running along here. It's okay, but I got 5 minutes. If you want, we can run. Now I got to qualify this. I can show the video. It's a little 5-minute video. I got to qualify this. This is not a finished product. So what you're seeing is one of my test tournaments. It's going to be what we call the finals of the tournament. So this is, like I said, please do not look at this as like a finished product. You're watching a what they call rough cut. There's no backdrops on here. It just had the track up. I'm running it.
You could talk us through it though, right?
You know,
you could talk over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I can even.
If he remembers how.
So Dan,
I'm
going to go back to the gambling piece. I'm going to go back to.
Of course you will.
Of course.
You are.
You guys can gamble if you want.
So here's what you do. You get some of us to donate some figures and have those be the prize for the winner of each one of your races. And I guarantee your numbers on YouTube or whatever are going to go off the charts as soon as you start giving away stuff and you have a race and it's gambling. You know, all those guys who are gambling on everything and everything under the sun, this will just be another avenue for them to.
So I just want to double check something. You want my figures to race so they can give away other figures.
It's kind of like prostitution.
I gotta talk to these guys. What do you think?
Legalized prostitution.
I know we can peddle plastic flesh.
Indentured servitude.
I can't imagine. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be pretty terrifying if these guys are real going down that thing. They're like, they're bolted on that they can't go in, and they wipe out. These guys do crash. I mean, I did have to put up a guard on one end of the track because guys would sail off it, and they crash. I broke one guy. One guy, his hip broke. He's recovered though. He's rebuilt. His name was Freddie
Oh,
Freestyle.
can you
There's some
imagine?
pretty good names on these guys. Yeah. Who came up with? Somebody came up on the group. Came up with that name. I can't. Was it Steve Lasaw?
Might
I
have
think I can't remember who came up with the name of Freddie Freestyle. But yeah, I've got all kinds of weird names for these guys. I mean, it just watching things, So, but if you want to watch this, let me see if I can figure out how to do this thing again.
All right.
So while we're waiting for his AOL to kick in,
Now, Paul.
I just want to make a quick announcement without anybody getting mad. There's no TST tomorrow night, Toy Soldier Tuesday.
Say
It
what?
will be.
Why?
It's very possible we're going to have a Toy Soldier Saturday with somebody
Say
overseas. So their overseas 8 o'clock is going to be like 12 o'clock Saturday.
Right.
So we had to move it to a Saturday to get this individual on. So it may just be me and that individual. If Stacy or any of you guys
just like
jumping
when
on a
you
Saturday.
did the Brits, just like the Sunday Brit show when you had
yeah, exactly.
Alan and
That's
everyone.
this person's come from Sweden.
Only that show is really good.
I'll have to check with my agent, but I will require 3 times the normal fee.
Usual
then-
fee.
I have no problem doing it
Double
myself.
time and a half.
So then just look for me on Saturday by myself. But yeah, there's actually 2 individuals overseas that I'm trying to work on. One's having some English difficulties, and the other individual said the time difference was way too off for Tuesday
Oh,
night.
good luck
so-
with that then.
You know,
But I mean,
we all have English difficulties here, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, Paul, maybe do a 6 or 7 o'clock start. Then
You-
at least it's like 9, 10 or 11 o'clock that third time instead of midnight.
yeah.
Midnight.
Oh, you mean for us on? Yeah.
For them.
So
You let that midnight start time for them. That's already late, even on a
Yeah,
Saturday
no.
to start. Good bunch of guys if they're willing to go that distance for you.
are you ready to rock and roll or no?
Oh, I believe so. I got it up, but I'm not seeing
Legends. I see legends. I see. Oh,
Oh, you see
yeah,
Legends?
you did.
I don't see anything now.
Okay.
Yeah, you just took it away. Whatever you did.
There it
You
is. Okay,
unshared
right
it.
there. Yeah, there you go. There it is right
There you
there.
go.
Yay!
You see it?
There's Knapp.
There we go. Legends. All right, let's go to
Just hit
let's
the play
go to
button.
the race here.
Be nice.
Do you want the
No.
music or no?
I mean, just in case. I don't want to.
Doesn't even give it a shot. No. No music.
What'd you do?
Oh, do you
No,
see
you
it?
just
No.
took it away again.
I'm sorry.
There
All right,
it is.
There
here,
it
let
is.
me go
There it
back.
is.
All right. All right, let's go back. There we go.
It's working now. I see it.
Welcome to Snowboard Rally. Once again, please understand this is a
And the
rough
crowd
cut, raw
goes wild.
image. Each course will have its own name. We are welcome to Moose Peak Race Course. We're hitting the finals.
Was that a GoPro you used there?
That gives you an idea what the. There you get to see what these guys go through. All right, now we got Buster Bean. This is 3rd finals appearance. He's got 12 wins in this tournament. Torgo Vinterson. Torgo is a unique name.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Bannon. He's had a championship
Yes.
also. He's won one. And then Cookie
All right.
Connors that you just saw. He's in the finals. This is first finals because he keeps wiping out most of the time. All right, so we got Bean, Venterson, Bannon, and Connors in lane
And Miss
4.
Snowflake.
And they're off. There they go.
That is so awesome.
All right, Bean's got a real good lead with it looks like Bannon up behind him on the second. Venterson and Connors is dragging coming up in the
Dude,
distance.
that's
that
a
was
huge
awesome.
track, man.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Once again, forgive the cameras. I'm still
No, I
working
mean,
on the
that's-
cameras.
I'm impressed that they stay up and they're. Oh my gosh, that is so
They
cool.
Hey, Dan.
If you saw, like I said, I have to slow the videos down. If you saw how hard these guys hit, Ben is down in lane 1, Connors in 2, Vinderson, and then Bean in lane 4. Say hello, Miss Morelli.
Yeah.
She's waving to you.
Hey, you should put her at the finish
Oh, it
line,
looks like
man.
Ben. Oh, there's good competition. Mo Bean's taking away. Oh, Connors. did terrible in the last race, but now he's in second. Oh, whoa! Bandon gave him a little nudge. Did you see that? He jumped the lane and gave him a little nudge. Is there a little gripe going on between these guys? We don't know.
A little drama here.
Watch this here. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, see that? Give him a little kick. What's going on with that?
No, back
And then Bean faded at the end. All right, so now you can see the points. If you get like 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 for third, and then 1 for fourth. Connor's now in lane 1.
All right.
Bean's in lane
Come
3.
on, Kookie Connors.
Man, Bean is rocking out, huh?
Oh man, he's a superstar.
Come on,
Oh,
Connors.
he really blew him away. That time.
Oh, Venderson, really? It looks like lane 4 is the dragging lane.
Connors.
But ooh. You are, with no music, you are going to miss one thing. There is sound effects that I do put into these guys. There are screams and stuff like that I do add into this.
That's amazing.
So is the track itself
There
just
we
painted
go.
wood? I mean, is it?
Yeah, it's what do you call it? A yucca board built on a frame of 1x3s.
And you made that, or that was a?
I built everything. Yep. Now here's the fourth and final race. Bean's in the second. Bannon is in second place now with a couple that. Whoa! Look at that! Oh, it took off pretty tight.
What a run!
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Bannon goes down.
Yep.
What? You actually would have heard a scream if you actually heard the sound of this. There's actually a scream.
Kookie Connors in second. Yeah.
There he goes. Like the fans are all excited. Look
They
at
were
that.
getting close. They were getting close too.
Oh, right now.
Whoa. Maybe you wanted to meet the girl there on the end there.
Do they ever fall the other direction?
Oh, it was a hard hit at the end there. So you got Bean won all 4 races. Connors pulls out a second place. Bannon goes into third with that 0. And then Venderson. But and here's his championship run. He's got his trophy.
No, she's at the top of the course.
Don't fall now with your trophy, dude.
So,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you,
Did
he
he
did,
really?
actually. I had to cut it. Yeah, he did fall. So, yeah, there's 2 videos of this. Two videos spliced
Yeah,
here. There we
that's
go.
the best.
Buster Bean is the champ. And just so you know, he no longer wears that uniform. I changed it. The purple looks terrible. So
That was fantastic.
I gotta love it.
Buster Bean.
like the fireworks.
Good
There we go.
job.
Putting action.
So everybody subscribe to your YouTube channel. We'll be the
Yes.
first ones to see that when it actually comes out, right?
Yes, if you do that, you'll get notifications. Of course, a like always helps too.
Oh, yeah.
That's all. So, and here's the updated Buster Bean. I changed his uniform
Powder blue.
to a
Powder blue.
Wait, yeah, I gave him a blue. The purple just looks like blue
Yeah.
on these guys. So, a lot of these guys, I'm getting rid of that. But everybody's got their own color combination. Everybody's got their own
Backstory.
their own look. Oh yeah, they got their own uniform numbers. They're all
Very cool.
But this guy's a machine,
No
man.
kidding.
So
So Dan, when you
flocking
taking the show on the road, I mean, can you haul that to Kentucky so we can all see it, or what?
Oh, that would be so awesome.
it would, the challenge is if I get it. First off, you have to have like a 60-foot area for me to work in, and I need to have a nice level area. It's otherwise it's really because that's a big challenge here in my backyard. They did a fantastic job grading it so the water runs away from the house and the way it pitches, and I had to find different areas to get this thing to pitch. It's about 5 feet. The start is 5 feet up in the air, and then it works its way down. And that's actually hard because up in Maine it was about a foot shorter because my property there in the back was very level, so I didn't have to worry about any kind of things like that. But here I had to find a very specific spot in my yard to set this all up with.
Wow.
So
Matthew O'Connor in the chat.
Yeah, I
that
saw
would
that.
be an awesome idea to keep the Joes alive, to have the Boy Scouts get some action figures, some Joe's 12-inch figures, and instead of doing the Pinewood Derby, something like
Yeah.
this. How awesome would that? And kids would then be like getting those figures, those 12-inch figures, and be like, oh, here's Buster Bean replica, and they would have their own figures, but it would go right along with what you're doing, but as a grander scale, and like you said, keep that Joe's alive. This could be a whole thing. This could be a whole new thing to keep the kids into G.I. Joe.
The ladies are in the works. I have female figures that I'm working on. Once I get this running, I'll start adding the ladies in having theirs. And a lot of people have contacted me saying that I need to do something where people can send me figures and such. I'll have to work that out. Maybe thinking a minor league where people can, because I've got 34 figures, but only 32 compete. So I'm going to have to do, before each race, I'm going to have to do a time trial. And the guys are the two slowest guys. They don't compete in the tournament. Each tournament, the way I do it is each guy will get a certain amount of points. And I'll have a final champion at the end of the season, the one who wins the most, points in the whole thing. I've got it all kind of worked out. I mean, I got, all the... I got the sheets. I got books. I got drawings of how the tracks are going to look. I got names for them all. I got, it's crazy. It's a lot. It's crazy, but it's fun.
It's a good hobby. It's a good hobby.
It's a good hobby, and I think that this is my way of contributing to the hobby in something definitely different. I don't think anybody really is going to be able to do it. I mean, it's a a lot of you guys could see what I went through to get to this point. So it's a lot.
Nobody's going to
duplicate
do this.
A lot of frustration.
Sure.
That's why I'm coming out with it now, and I'm hoping to have it all set up. I really, really wanted to do a remote tonight, but I mean, my God, the winds are just they are just thrashing out there right now.
That and your dial-up.
Yeah.
Gotta get the hamster cage running in the background, man.
Yeah, get the old, like I said, the phone lines going. But let's talk about that for a second. Do you know how advanced we are now? That all of us, it's not even 20 years ago, we were using dial-up. You were taking your phone line. It wasn't that long ago, and how far we are now to do the things that we're doing. I mean, I'm going to be able to use AI to help me with color correction on this stuff when I make these videos. There's different companies out there that I've already bought the program, so I can do this and it'll color correct everything, and it's amazing that how things are and how it's come to, things are. Like I said, I honestly, when it cost me to build this, I think I built the entire track for $100 back in 2019, 2020, because 1x3 was only a couple bucks.
Yeah.
A 4x8 sheet of the Yucca board was, I think, like $10. And nowadays it's like they're only like $20 for a sheet of that, and a 1x3 is like $7 or something like that. It's just, everything for me to do this, everything came together right at the right time. I got very lucky in a lot of this stuff, and in a lot of contributions, through this. And I've had contributions because I needed heads for the figures, because I didn't have enough of heads for all these guys. I couldn't do the resin heads. The resin heads. Oh yeah, there is a point where people think like, oh, add more weight. There is a point that too much weight, these guys suck.
Yeah, it's a drag.
There is I had a couple of guys that were fairly. I will tell you that it's over 340 grams total. Terrible. It's below that. I'll give you the range. It's 320 to 335. I won't give the magic number away. If you want to figure it out, you can figure it out. There's a magic weight in there that like I said, Buster Bean and Luke Bannon and the other guys were all the same weight. In that thing. I got I just decided a couple weeks ago, I went through everybody and got everybody the same weight, which was kind of a process.
There's an understatement. I remember getting the Pinewood Racers the same weight and up to legal weight, and sometimes you had to drill some out, sometimes you had to add a little lead, and to add in the right spot.
Well, Cookie's got.
I see that.
Yeah, Cookie's got a. He's got a 46 gram sled, and He's got the little weight in there. You can see how I attach the guys. There's actually screws that go right through the whole thing. And this is just a plastic right there. And, you know, I mean, I've got all the tools for Pinewood Derby stuff. I got the stuff to shave the wheels, polish the axles. I got all that stuff to do. I got the whole thing. Graphite. I can build a killer Pinewood Derby. Oh, yeah, graphite. Yeah, everybody gets graphite before the tournament starts. And then I just let it go from there.
That's so cool. Oh, yes.
Labor of love for sure.
Yeah.
Dan, we're gonna have to have you back when we can see it in action, man. Like middle summer, something like that, bro. Outside.
Oh, like I said, I will definitely let you guys know. Obviously, you're in the group. Angela, if you're on Facebook, I'll put you. I'll put you into the group, so you can see. You can scroll through and see the whole thing. There's at some point I'm gonna have to take all those photos, everything, and put them together in a video so people can see from the start. I mean, I got an original video of where I'm like pushing a guy down a couple pieces of Hot Wheel track just to see him. You know, if he would stand up, it's like in my kitchen, just kind of rolling to see if he'll work, and going, hey, he stood up. Perfect. Oh, these are the boards are pine boards you can get at Lowe's. The regular weight, I don't know what size it was, at 2 1/4 or whatever. And then they're 6 inches long.
Yes. Getting a little floppy in the waist, that boy.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix these guys with the weights like that. That's but I'm really seeing.
Yeah, right.
Well, the worst part was I hope I have the head falling off part, because you guys have seen the guys' heads roll off. That these guys hit and their heads
quite impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, we're way over our hour, man. I gotta cut you loose, brother. But
I'm sorry.
You want to let people know where to find you if they want to see Deering Studios and things like that?
Deering Studios on Instagram to see pictures. I don't have every picture I've ever made on there. But because over the years I've kind of, at this point it's all Snowboard Rally. But definitely look me up on Deering Studio on YouTube, and please subscribe and like the promo and hopefully get me rolling on that. And I really would appreciate that.
Already done.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Just keep in mind, no show tomorrow night. Toy Soldier Tuesday is moved to this weekend. Hopefully, if I can get the individual. And hey, Murray, you can join us. You'll be off, right? Saturday or Sunday if I move it.
Maybe.
Just say no.
I know nothing about those guys. I mean, when we were young, I had the 6-inch superheroes?
Yeah.
That were the hard plastic. Those were, and I mean, we had the little green army men, but nothing as fancy as what Dan's showing and what you guys have on the show.
That's pretty
there.
cool. That's 1/32 scale, looks like, maybe 54 millimeter.
Well, you guys have such cool stuff on that show, and I have no concept of what you guys are talking about half the time. I just sit there and drool.
Do you 3D print those, or is that?
No, these I made these many years ago. These are actually Army men.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I got
like Wonder Woman. You did a great job on her.
Wow.
All right.
And then I even made some. This gives you an idea how old this is, but it's like convert your. If you look at the number, I don't know if you can see the name on it or not, but I mean, I painted this. This is Steve Garvey, so this had to be 1984. I made this.
Yeah. Cool. So you could be a guest host on the show.
Yeah,
with,
Well, I got gobs and gobs of. I mean, I got these plastic baseball players. I got like about 700 or 800 of them. I got football players.
You're gonna have to have a guest on Toy Soldier Tuesday. Absolutely.
Dan be the man. Yeah.
Dan's the man. There you go.
All right, man. We got to get going. Hey, Rick Bradshaw. Next time, don't talk so much, okay? You really controlled the show tonight.
Rick's tired, man.
Hey, you can't get a word in with that guy. I think he actually. Anyway.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so honest, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots